All right, hello all. I am
How you
Todd. This
doing?
is STEM Library Lab, and we're here with Kelly Leggins. Maybe tell
Yes.
everyone where and what you teach.
Yeah, so I work at the Net Charter High School. I teach several different subjects. I have a math intervention class that I teach. I also co-teach a biology class, and then I have a financial literacy class that I teach. And also do some push-ins and some sped work, and I also work with BIPs and making sure that those types of things are reinforced.
Cool. So my first, I guess, question for you is talk a little bit about the uh, sort of systems that y'all have in place and how things are going, or what systems you found are working well.
Okay. So, you know, like with everybody, this is really like caught us off guard. Um, I had a private meeting. He probably would laugh if I told this, but had a private meeting, maybe like the Thursday before school closed with my principal, and I just asked him because I was already kind of following the coronavirus, and I kind of asked him if we had like a plan, in case schools closed. And he closed the door and he was like, honestly, we would probably be looking at about April before we would have to do like online classes. And so that just let me know that he was already forward thinking as far as our contingency plan. So we already had some things in place just on the way that the net works. We do a lot of communication through WhatsApp. Each teacher has their own personal WhatsApp where they also have the deans in constant communication with them as well as our administrative staff. And we also have a staff WhatsApp. And so we were able to use those systems in order to orchestrate who would be communicating with students, kind of figuring out our reach out program, how we were going to go about doing reach out. And then from there, through those communications, we sent a number of emails and set up Zoom links with ourselves, training links, as well as resource links that we shared with each other, and kind of started strategizing around how we would go about getting our classroom set up and having everybody on the same page as far as their platform of communication. And then from there, we set up basically our each teacher in their subject matter set up their actual class online ahead of time, and then we started reaching out to students, sharing with them through email, through phone calls, parent contact, text, however we could, just communicating with them. And we had a resource to be able to share so that they can access the classroom information. And then we already had a structure as far as their time to attend class. And those classes were in the form of a Zoom link, which we take about a half hour to 45 minutes to engage with the students, check in with the students, go over relevant material, and then kind of use the time after the Zoom link to either have personal Zoom links with students, do a breakout session with students, or allow them independent studies to do their work.
And are you getting pretty good response on Zoom meetings, or what's communication with students looking like so far?
Yes, the students they're really, a lot of them were displaced. I kind of related to Katrina, and I think that's something that a lot of people have to take into consideration, that when this happened, a lot of students, they weren't technologically savvy. Um, they don't always have Wi-Fi at their homes. A lot of the dynamic that we teach are computers at their homes, and the ones that do, they don't use it in the capacity that we're asking them to use. So we had to go about trying to figure out a way which, at the Net Charter High School, we have provided a number of computers to students, and we have an order that should be in this week for Wi-Fi as well as computers for the remainder of our students that we were able to reach out to. And basically the students like it because at the net, we already had systems in place where we had computer-based curriculum. We already had online courses. A lot of the things that we were doing as far as technology, and also things that make students think outside the box, like for instance, the use of and the access of the STEM library, being able to take manipulatives and things that would normally be unattainable to our students and introduce it to them in a way that it allows them to think outside the box. So from there, this was just another resource that kind of forced their hand to have them think outside the box and still be able to access information and take real world things such as this epidemic and turn it into teachable moments so that the students are able to really grasp what's going on and still take the content and make it relative. So
Cool.
the students are really really geared up and excited about the online abilities.
Cool. If you're watching at home, I'll also share that on our website, you'll find a bunch of coronavirus-related content links. And then Kelly, I'm curious if you'll talk a little bit about what academics are looking like in terms of what you're doing and where you're finding stuff.
Okay, so I'm basically using Google Chrome, Google Classrooms through the Google Chrome app systems. And so I've set up a Google Classroom. Hold on, let me share it on my screen. I shared Google Classrooms with all my students. And so here, for instance, I have my financial literacy class, which is virtual finance with K.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I open it up, there's useful links. Like for instance here, when the students click on this, they can see the calendar for last week, what we did. And then if I scroll down, there's the links to the information.
Yep.
It has a layout for the
To get hard copy if they're having trouble with internet currently, or
right. And also one thing that we did was through the use of our data, we had updated addresses on the students, and so we mailed out these packets. Each teacher also had to coincide with their online information that they're sharing with the students. They also had packets, and the students can access these packets on paper, but then they also have a digital copy. So as I'm going along with my Zoom, I can also teach the students using this digital format. And the students can also write into these.
yep.
Every student is able to write into these, and they're also able to do a read aloud. We go over the information, and I kind of use a lot of what's going on now with the coronavirus to kind of, as a template, to kind of show that this is real world learning. Like for instance, in my math class, which dives into probability and statistics, we talk about a lot of the statistics and things that are going on in the world right now, and a lot of the percentages that are given as far as the coronavirus and stuff like that is relevant material and presents a teachable moment so that they can see that this probability and statistics, it's not just something that I'm learning just for a grade or just because I have to, but it's actually something that's relevant, and it gives them a better understanding of what's going on around them.
Cool. I'm going to ask you, if you're willing, to share out links to us that you found, and we'll post them on our website and then put them at the end of this video.
Okay.
And I'm curious if folks are listening and like, I would like to learn more or touch base, is there a way they can get in touch with you?
If they want to get in touch with me, they can reach me at Leggins, KLEGGINS at eqaschools.org.
Cool.
And always email me. As far as the links, I have about 50 links or more, maybe 100 in my email. So I can definitely share those with you and you can put them at the end of this video.
Sounds good. Or on our website or somewhere that they fit.
Or on the website, yes.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much.
Yes, and thank you for everything that you do. And look forward to talking to you soon. Actually seeing you in person soon.
Yep.